It's been a week since the 2017 NFL draft, and I think it's an adequate time to actually finally grade the players that we picked. Now, I did do research on the players, except for the top three, which is Watson, Cunningham, and Foreman, because I scouted these guys before the whole draft happened. The last four guys I pretty much had no clue about, so let's dive right into this. Now, Deshaun Watson, I was upset about the whole training thing situation, but overall, I think it was a good pick. He does have potential to be a legitimate franchise quarterback, and I'm kind of happy Rick finally, manned up and picked a quarterback in the first round. Even though I didn't really like Watson, I'm not gonna lie, Watson does have the skills to eventually become a top quarterback. And he does need to sit a year to work on his footwork, to learn the system, to learn how to properly read a defense. And that's what else can you say? Deshaun Watson's a born winner. There's nothing else left to say. You can see it for yourself. He's not going to start day one, and we did give up a first round pick for him. So I'm gonna have to give this Deshaun Watson pick a B plus. Actually, on second thought, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an A plus, and for one reason only, because it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. Ssac Cunningham in the second round, A plus. Must I really say more? I mean, he can cover. He's Cushing's future replacement, and him and Bernardrick McKinney are gonna dominate for years. I'm telling you. I saw a lot of people on Twitter, on Battle Red Blog, and other places complaining about the pick. I mean, how? Ssac Cunningham is an outstanding player. Yes, he kind of needs to work on his tackling a bit, and yes, he probably needs to get a bit stronger. But I mean, what rookie doesn't have to work on his tackling and get stronger? That's just an excuse. I feel like Ssac Cunningham is a more polished player than what Bernardrick McKinney was, and for I don't know why Ssac Cunningham didn't go in the first round over Gerard Davis. I mean, it's outrageous. Like Ssac Cunningham, in my opinion, is top two inside linebacker of this year's draft, and there are rumors out there that we're going to move to a 4-3 base defense, so we could put our best players out there, and that will include Ssac Cunningham if we are moving to a 4-3 defense on base formation. A plus. I cannot say this again. A plus. Deontay Foreman in the third round. A plus. I mean, we need a big running back that can get those 2 or 3 yards on a third down situation because Lamar Miller can't do it. Can't run in between the tackles. We've seen that last season, and Alfred Blue, he's not a very good player. He's probably gone. Hopefully we could get something out of him, like by a trade. Rick Smith is good at trading away bad players for, late picks. I mean, I wouldn't mind, getting something out of Alfred Blue, but he's gone. Deontay Foreman, he could get those nasty yards that you need, and he also has breakaway speed. He ran a 4.45, I want to say, in his pro days, what it was, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I love the pick. Now, in the fourth round is where things get a little bit tricky. Julian Davenport, I had never heard of the guy, but apparently he's started every single game in college, and he's extremely raw. He does need to work on his techniques a bit. He's probably not gonna, you know, play year one, maybe even year two, but by year three, this guy, he's got the size, the strength, and he has the ability to actually be a legitimate starter in the NFL. And I don't see why he wouldn't be able to. I don't think the Texans brought in this guy to start at right tackle. I think the Texans brought in this guy to eventually replace Mr. Dwayne Brown. I'm gonna give this pick an A. With our other fourth round pick, we selected Carlos Watkins out of Clemson, and I love this pick. And this pick kind of indicates what I was talking about earlier, that the Texans might be moving to a 4-3 base defense. This guy, I mean, he's not going to get much playing time, but I do think he's going to have pretty big impact on our defense. He's going to be a rotational guy. He's an outstanding player when he's not tired, and obviously he's always going to have fresh legs because he's not going to be a starter. Let's just be honest. He is going to have some impact plays. He could play nose tackle even though he's kind of small for a 3-4 defensive tackle. He can also play end. This guy's versatility, O'Brien preaches it. I think it's a great pick. I might have to give it an A. Now, Treston DeCoud. He was a pick that Texans fans were like, what the fuck are the Texans thinking? And at first, I'm going to be honest, I was also like that because when you're a corner and you run a 4.64, yeah, that's not very good. And then when I looked into him more, it turns out the guy gets burnt on press coverage. I mean, he's good, like, on the initial, press. But, like, once the wide receiver goes out to run his route, he gets burnt. But then I started to, think about it more. I saw that he's 6'2". Well, he's listed at 6'2", but he's actually closer to 6'3". He's also a very physical tackler. And then, after looking into it, he ran a 4.52, I believe, in his pro day. So, I mean, after further evaluating the guy, I think this was a great pickup, honestly. I don't see him as a corner. I see him as a free safety. And honestly, he might even be a day one starting safety. He's an outstanding tackler. He does struggle a bit with tracking the ball while it's in the air. And yes, he does get burnt sometimes. But when he's at safety, he won't have to really deal with that. And if he does, he has the size and length to, make up for it. Bat the ball down. And as for the tracking ability of tracking the ball in the air, we have John Butler, one of the better DB coaches in the NFL, and I believe he could actually fix this guy. Not only that, this guy is an outstanding tackler. Well, I wouldn't say outstanding, but a good tackler. So what does that mean? He could play special teams, and special teams is something that we really need to fix. So I'm going to have to give this pick, honestly, an A+. Kyle Fuller, center out of Baylor. Well, I'll just say offensive lineman out of Baylor. This guy is 6'5", 300 pounds. He can play guard. He can play center. I think he played center his entire career at Baylor. He started every single game, I want to say. And he has the size to play a right tackle. And to be quite honest, Greg Manx or Nick Martin, whoever, is most likely going to move the guard. So we are going to need a backup center. And O'Brien preaches versatility, but I don't think he's very good, honestly. I don't want him to see, significant time out on the field. I mean, yes, he does, bring depth to the whole offensive line, and O'Brien does preach versatility. but I'm a bit skeptical about the whole, Baylor offensive lineman. If you guys don't know about that, offensive linemen from Baylor aren't very good. So I'm gonna have to give this pick a B minus, only because he's versatile and he brings in depth. So yeah, overall I give this draft class a solid A. Comment down below what you think about this draft class. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace.